What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Wager Alarm live stream. I'm Howard Bender. With me, of course, Craig Mish. And Craig, the walls came tumbling down once again on us at the Super Contest here at the very last possible moment. Not a terrible week this past week, but not a good week either, in the sense that we needed a 4-1 or a 5-0 to really kind of push us closer to that cash line.
Yeah, we started off 2-0 again in the early games, and then things just started to go sideways on us. But that's kind of been our story all year. When it gets dark, we are not good, and that certainly was the case. Started off 2-0. We had a push. We took the Ravens, and that was an easy win. And the Bears was a very easy win too. As I said, I don't really mind laying the points at this time of the year, but Denver got a push, and they probably didn't deserve a win, so we'll probably take that. The Rams had a lot of chances against Seattle. They had the ball near the goal line a few times. I don't feel terrible about that pick, but the Rams lost to Seattle. And what were the other? And then the Monday night game, I know we lost, but where did we went 2-2-1? So what was our other loss?
What was our other loss? We won with the Ravens. We won with the damn, I don't even remember who it was. Broncos, Bears, Ravens. So 2-2-1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Broncos and Rams. Yeah, Broncos and
So
Rams.
yeah,
And
two
then it
two
was
and one.
it was the old, hey, the Monday night dog. It's hitting 60% of the time.
Unbelievable.
Let's do it.
It was not even close. It's just if we take a Monday night dog this year, just count on it not coming through. That was the moral of the story. But on the season, we are still in the top third, which is crazy because we're only a game over 500 for the season, but we still are there. And it is look, we did better last year for sure, but what's crazy is that if we were to go 5-0, we'd only be one game off the pace of last year. That's what really 1 week can mean. So I don't think we need to do any contrarian approaches this week. I think we just need to go in and try and get as many wins as we can to boost our percentage record, and then we'll talk about that next week. But our journey here, I guess, on Wednesday nights has come to an end. So you and I will continue doing these live streams once a week before the NFL playoff games, and perhaps maybe before the College Football National Championship game. Of course, we have the two big games coming up in a couple days. Notre Dame taking on Alabama and Clemson taking on Ohio State. We didn't do a college football one this year. I'm hopeful that we'll dive back into that next year, though. That's something that I definitely missed this year.
Yeah, that was I missed it too. I mean, our bowl game preview, going through all 40 games and trying to get it all done in under 40 minutes was like it was crazy. But I mean, it was a lot of fun, and we did well with it. We had a lot of fun on a number of games. I mean, it was just, I mean, listen, 2020. I mean, obviously the year of COVID has just thrown everything topsy turvy on the world, and so listen, we're hoping that everything's going to be better coming this time next year. Next year in the fall, hopefully we'll all be good. Everybody will be vaccinated, and we can just play our sports as regularly scheduled. So, listen, I'll take an over 50% year in a year that was all topsy turvy, and we didn't get to boost ourselves with the college games, and that's one of the things. I mean, when we were doing the Nugget last year. I mean, we were like riding high. We like go into Sunday and we were like, yeah, we just crushed it with the college games. Here we are looking at our pro games. So, I mean, listen, I think it's been an exercise in perseverance, and I will take that to the bank.
Yeah, I love doing these streams, and I love doing the Super Contest with you, and it's a lot of fun every year. This is the third year we've done it. I know that a lot of people didn't join contests and didn't bet on a lot of games this year, but we didn't care. We wanted to jump back in it. And I see the comments from people on social media. People tell me they watch these all the time. And whether you are tailing us or fading us, you know that we're trying very hard. We have our money behind this, and we certainly want to win. 3 weeks ago, it was feeling really good, like we had a chance to cash, but we really stumbled down the stretch for sure. But that being said, it is time for Week 17, a week that, notoriously speaking, I think that the last 2 years, our record's probably either 10-0 or 9-1 going into Week 17. Why is that the case? It's pretty simple. The line's locked today, and a lot happens between now and Sunday. A lot will happen. Players will be out. Team coaches will say they're not playing their players, and you can get a huge line advantage. So out of the 5 games that we picked this week, there are probably going to be 2 that I'm not saying that we're guaranteed to win, but probably have our best chance to win all season just because players will sit. And there are a couple games in particular, especially one game, especially with Buffalo and Miami, Howard, where McDermott is the only coach so far in the NFL to not say what he's going to do. And so when the Super Contest is making their line, what are they supposed to do? They're just going to go with the current line. But if something should happen, as an example, between now and Sunday, and Buffalo would announce that Josh Allen is inactive and Diggs is inactive and all these other guys. I mean, Miami's playing to win, and meanwhile, you're still getting 2.5 points. Miami's going to be favored on Sunday if that's the case. So it's games like that that factor in. I do see at least one more game that'll be like that. So I guess let's dive into it.
All right, yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, you said the Buffalo Miami game, just so you know, on the Westgate card right now, it's 2.5. I'm looking at DK Sportsbook right now; it's already down to 1.5. So, everybody's just expecting Buffalo to match Pittsburgh's move, and once that gets announced, again, we don't have to get these picks in. No Thursday game, so
Yeah.
there's no Saturday game. It's all Sunday. We've got until 8:30 p.m. Pacific time to get these picks in. So by that point, we'll have all the news that we need. So yeah, let's roll through this and go through a couple of the games. Washington. Well, I'm going on the card here. This is
Okay.
the
Fine.
night game here, but I'm going by the card.
Sure.
Washington against the Eagles. Eagles are a home dog by 2.5. Already, we're looking at a movement there. It's now 1.5
Yep.
for this game because I guess we don't know who Washington's quarterback is going to be. It's definitely not Dwayne Haskins,
No.
but we don't know if it's going to be Alex Smith. So we're seeing movement there. Colts hosting the Jaguars. They're laying 14.
Mm-hmm.
Packers, they're hosting they're going to Chicago. The Bears are getting 5.5. That line's down to 5 right now. I feel like at least one of these games could be something that we end up taking.
Yeah, well, Washington, if Alex Smith played, then maybe we would have some interest there. But if it was Heineke, I'd probably take Philadelphia. I mean,
Sure.
I know he played well, but boy, historically speaking, these quarterbacks who play and then to play the second game don't do nearly as well. So I would lean there. Um, Colts have to win against the Jaguars. This is a monster number, and so I'll just pass on that. I would tell you that Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken, they have to win to get the number 1 seed. Is that, or do they already have the number 1 seed?
No, they have to win for it. I mean, if they lose and New Orleans loses, then I think that they're okay.
Right.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Green Bay needs to win this game. Not to mention, let's just face it, Aaron Rodgers wants to continue to pad his stats
True.
and walk away with this MVP.
True. I still would lean Bears a little bit because the Packers could basically look at this thing and to me and just at some point stop. I know what you're saying. I do think that I don't think he's got it wrapped up, but I think he possibly would. But anyway, those games are not as compelling as the rest. So there's a couple more here that I wanna talk about.
All right. Cowboys heading to the Giants. The Cowboys are favored by 1.5. Browns hosting the Steelers. Now the Steelers are sitting everybody out.
Right.
And there seems to be a little bit of a COVID situation for Cleveland. Steelers are getting 9 there. Titans versus the Texans. This is the DFS community's dreamboat game here with the Tennessee Titans. They're laying 7.5 on the road.
Yeah, I think with Cleveland Pittsburgh, I'd like to wait and see more information just to make sure that the game is going to be played with the players on Cleveland, so we could pass there. With Tennessee, they play later. So there is a chance, if I'm not mistaken, that Tennessee could make the playoffs going into that game. No
Nope.
chance.
If the Colt it comes down to them and the Colts, because if Tennessee ends up losing their game and the Colts win, then Tennessee could end up getting bounced out of the playoffs depending on what happens with a couple of teams early on. But they have to win to get in, I think.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I guess I wasn't clear enough. So if Jacksonville was to beat Indianapolis, doesn't that put Tennessee in?
It does. They're playing at the same time, though.
Okay, that's true. But Okay, and Baltimore plays early.
Baltimore plays early.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the point is this: I don't think that you can take Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think you can take Tennessee because there's a chance that they play that game knowing they're in the playoffs. I didn't know which game was the factor, but there is a chance Tennessee goes and plays at Houston knowing they're already in.
If the Ravens lose to the Bengals.
Maybe that's what it is. Could be.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Miami has to lose
Right.
also.
So how could we possibly lay 7.5, Howard, with Tennessee? And
Yeah, all right, you're right, you're right. Well, because again, one of the things that we're talking about, we're looking into, is if Buffalo sits all its starters, then I'm not worried about Miami losing the game, and the Ravens need a win as well in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. They could actually still get bounced too. So, given the lopsidedness of those matchups, if they tell me that Josh Allen is sitting, I wouldn't be opposed to taking the Titans.
if Josh Allen is sitting, yeah, see, I would not. I think that there's better games to pick.
Okay.
For me, just because again, why? I guess the point that I would make with this is that because we have to put the picks in on Saturday. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you're betting the games Sunday, it's a completely different scenario. But we know going into the game, there's a chance that even if it's a 5% chance, we know that there's a small chance that Tennessee may sit everyone.
Okay.
There is a chance, and we're not going to know until 4:25 Eastern. If that's the case, the line is going to flip, and the Texans are going to be favored, or it's going to be even. And why would we go down the road? I guess I think
I
that
mean,
would be
listen,
my
if there are other games that you're obviously much more interested in, yeah, sure, I get that. I
yeah, and I don't
totally.
know that I am yet, but that was my initial thought
You
on that.
just
And my
said there are so many more games that you'd rather look at.
right, and so the other question that I would have is also with the New Orleans Saints, right? So the
Uh-huh.
Saints are at 4:25 Eastern
Yeah.
are laying 6.5 points against the Carolina Panthers. So my question to you is if at the half Green Bay is up 41-0 on the Bears, does that put the Saints in a spot where it doesn't matter to them either what happens in that
That's
game? Like,
correct. Yes.
right. So these are like sort of I mean, we never have to do this, but we have to do it week 17. It stinks, but that's part of the way that I like to think through on some of these games. So no lean yet on New Orleans, Carolina, but honestly, if I had to go one way, probably Carolina, because again, if something happens and then all of a sudden Sean Payton says, "Oh, that's it. It's time to start sitting guys." I'd rather be on the side with the points than not.
Okay. Understood. Understood. Looking down the card here, Patriots home favorites by 3 over the Jets.
Wow.
The Jets on a big 2-game win streak here.
Oof.
Um,
Oof, tough game. So I guess
Vikings going up
who's gonna
against the
do you think Howard that Jarrett Stidham is gonna start for New England?
um does I don't think so. I think
No.
he'll probably give it to Cam again. There's nothing. I mean, again, this is a game I don't want to touch. I don't want
Yeah,
to
I
go
agree. I agree.
horrible.
I agree.
Vikings Lions, this is an interesting one right now
Yeah.
because you've got Dalvin Cook who's dealing with a family emergency. He won't be around. Alex Madison is still under concussion protocol. He is yet to be cleared. Detroit doesn't look like Matt Stafford's going to be back, so you're going to have Chase Daniel under center again.
Mm-hmm.
It's two horrible defenses, and yet we're losing players on offense, which could have made this game a little bit more interesting.
I think Minnesota has quit, and Detroit probably has quit too, which makes it a little difficult here. I wish Stafford was playing in this game because getting points, I would absolutely take the Lions in this one based on what I saw with Minnesota last week against New Orleans. But we don't
Oh
know
yeah,
the
because
answer to that.
Detroit played with heart against Tampa Bay on Saturday, didn't
Yeah, they
they?
lost by 70. Yeah, so yeah, but they didn't. At least they didn't have their coaches. Like it was a little. At least they have somewhat of an excuse. Like what was Minnesota's excuse?
Mike Zimmer.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. All right, fair enough. Bucks home favorites against the Falcons by 6.5. Ravens on the road giving 12.5 to the Bengals. Bills are a 2.5 point favorite at home against the Dolphins.
Okay, so Miami's going to be a pick for us. I mean, that's probably going to be a pick. I mean, I don't. I mean, even if Josh Allen plays, does he play more than a quarter or two, Howard? I mean, I think we have to take Miami here. I think that the head coach of Buffalo, McDermott, if something was ever to happen with any of those starters because he played them for no reason, he would get crucified. So I think Miami is the pick.
See, I'll tell you, the funny thing is for me, the problem is Miami's offense. Like, I just don't think Tua is that good of a quarterback in the NFL right now. He might have an amazing skill set, and he may develop into a fantastic quarterback. But you know what would make me feel much better about these Dolphins right now would be telling me that Fitzpatrick was going to be under center in a must-win game for Miami. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but at some point, Brian Flores has to stop being stubborn and go with the guy who gives them the better chance to win.
So if we found out that Matt Barkley was starting for Buffalo and Allen was not going to play and Diggs was out and
no, we take the Dolphins
Miami at that
absolutely.
point. Okay.
Well,
yeah, I think at that point we would have.
Yeah, well, you're getting 3 defensive touchdowns right off the bat.
I like it.
And that'll be the only points Miami scores.
It could be. You could be right. In terms of Baltimore, Cincinnati's got some crazy against the spread record going at home when they have a losing record in the final game of the season. It's like ridiculous. Like in the last 25 years, like 17-1 or something insane. I got to go take a look at that again. They've been playing much better. They're getting a lot of points. I know Baltimore needs the win. This is a lot of points to lay in an NFL game regardless. And in terms of Tampa Bay, I really feel like they're a hard team to figure out, but they looked so good last week against Detroit. They've looked so good the last few weeks. I don't know that I would have an issue laying 6.5 with them. And I know do they need to win in any kind of positioning at all, Howard? Would this get them a home game in the first round?
Who, the Ravens?
I'm on Tampa now here.
Oh, Tampa. I mean, no. Tampa wins. They lock in the number 5 seed.
So Tampa cannot play at home no matter what?
Correct.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they don't have motivation. So will they be sitting players?
That's another question right there, because you're looking at it and it's like, I mean, they need to win the game, but if they go up big, do we see again? I mean, I guess it's how big. Do they eventually go up over the Falcons? The defense has been playing better. I don't necessarily know. If the Falcons can keep this game close, you can't take the starters out. I don't think Bruce Arians can do that. But then again, I mean,
well, the line definitely does say that the Bucs are sitting everyone. I mean, that's or at least second half. For it only to be 6.5.
Yes.
What do we got on a current line there? Let me take a
current line is still the same.
Is it 6.5?
Yeah, it's let me see, double check it. Yeah, 6.5 still.
And backup quarterback for the Bucs? Any clue?
Blaine Gabbert, my friend, Blaine Gabbert.
All right, we'll check back on Saturday there on that one.
Okay. Last 2 games to take a look at. Oh, Seattle. I don't know what to do with these guys. Seattle, 49ers, that game is in Arizona, obviously. 49ers are getting 6 points. And then 3 games left here. My personal favorite, the Raiders-Denver series.
Oh, my gosh.
That I never pick right, so I will just avoid that one altogether. It's in Denver. Broncos are getting 2.5 at home. And then finally, the last game, Cardinals-Rams in Los Angeles. The Rams are a home dog by 2.5. How in the world is it only 2.5?
Yeah, I think that'll go. We also missed Chargers-Chiefs there. Chargers are minus.
I wouldn't say I was missing that game, Craig. What, you want to take the Chargers laying 3.5 points to the Chiefs?
No. It would be Chiefs or nothing. I mean, I can't even believe that you'd get. I mean, aren't the Chiefs backups better than the Chargers starters?
No, I mean, the problem is that you're probably not going to see Keenan Allen, and you're probably not going to see Mike Williams. They'll probably hold back a couple of players there. I know Josh Herbert wants to pad his NFL rookie touchdown pass record, but Yeah, I can't even look at that game and know what's happening. That defense is just falling apart in
Right.
Los Angeles.
Well, I would say this. Of the 4 games that we just discussed, if I found out Kyler Murray was playing even at whatever percent he is, it would be taking the Cardinals at the Rams.
Yeah.
That would be an absolute pick for me at the Rams because I don't know a lot about the Rams backup quarterback, but I cannot imagine with him and Cup out that the Cardinals can't win this game. And I have not been on the Cardinals a lot, but I think that the Rams just fell upon some really tough luck here at the end of the season.
Yeah. John Wolford, backup quarterback for the Arizona Hotshots in the AAF. Just in case
And
you
and did was he good there? I have no
no,
idea.
he was the backup quarterback
Oh,
in
he
the
was the
AAF.
backup at the AAF.
Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible. So yeah, so I would lean Cardinals for sure. Raiders Broncos, you're right. That's probably a stay away. Seattle, what is Seattle's story here this week against San Francisco? Seattle can win the division, no?
Yes, they can win the division with a win.
And that would get them a home game. Oh, they already have the division. Okay. Wow, Seattle can still be number 1 seed. So here's the deal on this game, Howard. So if Green Bay wins the early game, Seattle sits guys late in their game, right?
Green Bay is playing at the same time as Seattle.
Okay, so if
The
Green
NFL
Bay,
did a really good job at matching these up. Just because the
they
Westgate
really did.
card is completely out of whack here.
They knew it would be people like us trying to figure this out. I
Yeah.
could not lay 6 with Seattle if Green Bay is up 31-0 at the half. Again, Seattle knows that's the end. Everyone starts sitting in the second half. San Francisco has a chance to win the game or even cover. I can't lay points like that. Can't do
Yeah.
it.
I'm actually fine with the 49ers over Seattle in this matchup,
Me too.
regardless of what's going on in the Green Bay game. Seattle's just falling apart for me.
Yeah. So
This
I
is
think I think our leans are pretty solid. I think we're gonna do fine. We're gonna do fine this week. We're gonna. I think I would lean Miami plus the points.
mm-hmm.
I would lean the Cardinals minus whatever points it is. Honestly, as long as
Uh-huh.
Murray has to play. I mean, Murray. That's the deal. Murray has to play, and that would be the second one. And I think the 49ers would probably be the third one. We'd have to sift through a couple more.
Yeah, you hinted that you liked the Bears a little bit with the 5.5, and then you hinted that you like the Eagles. We'll wait and see who the quarterback is
How do
for
you feel
Washington.
about that game?
Washington, the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm if it's not Alex Smith, I don't know who's quarterbacking this team. I'll take the Eagles. As bad as their defense has looked, it's just not. I mean, it's not great. I mean, I know Washington can win anybody can win the division here. So if the Eagles win, I think what then the winner of the Giants Dallas game that wins the division. The Eagles are the only team that's just out of it completely. They can spoil it.
I feel like we
And I
skipped
think
over
that
Dallas, New York. Did we skip that game?
did we skip Dallas, New York? No. Well, I mean, I mentioned it.
Did you?
Cowboys
I should
favored
have
by a
said
point and a
something
half
about it.
in New Jersey.
And Dallas is a little bit more of a favorite now, if I'm not mistaken. Did the line go up or did it go down? I think Dallas may have been 2.5 last time I looked.
I'm looking at the line right now. No, Dallas is a point and a half favorite
Are
here.
they?
Also, yep.
I'd lean Giants there.
Right. Screw the Cowboys.
Listen, I'm not taking Dallas ever.
I think we've shown that. So where are Howard and Craig swearing off now? Monday night football games.
Done.
When the sun goes down.
Done. Chargers. Done.
Chargers. Raiders Broncos series. We're out. I think that's it. But yeah, listen, listen, folks, these lines could dramatically move over the next couple of days. So, I'd have a very hard time. I don't have any game here that I'm like, bet now, bet now. I mean, maybe Miami because they're getting points, right? Like that would probably be the only one, but you're taking a chance there. You're taking a chance that Buffalo doesn't turn around and start their guys.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Miami is the safest play so far. And I think Arizona is also a really good play. Those are two that if I was going to bet Sunday, I would bet them now and take the chance. And everything else we can sort of go back and forth and negotiate a little bit. And I do believe that by the time that we get to Saturday, we will have a lot more information. We'll find out about other teams that have plans to either play players or not. But this is kind of your last chance to get ahead of it on those two games in particular, and probably more as we go. But I think Tampa Bay would be maybe another lean for me, because I just feel like if they have anything that they're playing for, to me, they've been playing as good as anybody in the NFL lately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that last game that they played against Detroit, I know it was the Lions, but like
they're peaking at the right time. They're peaking at the right time, no doubt about it. No doubt. All right.
So we'll be back Saturday, and then and that'll close it out for the Super Contest this year.
There you go. There you go. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Aw, don't be like that, Craig. New Year's Eve coming up, right? We're going to spring hope eternal in 2021. Lots of good stuff. Because listen, Craig and I are going to continue this live streams. We're going to do it every Friday night. We're going to take you through the Super Bowl. We're going to bring you some college stuff that could be going on here. We're also going to be doing our usual looking at the wins totals for MLB. It's right around the corner. Before you know it, here it is.
Can I ask you one line before we go?
No, you cannot.
Notre Dame at Alabama. Line opened at 17. It's now 20. Who you got?
I'm taking Alabama.
We're taking Alabama. Yes, we are.
I got it, right? I mean, how do I in good faith even think about taking Notre Dame?
Horrible. And then Clemson's -7 against Ohio State New Year's Day. That's the late game.
Yeah. I'll take Alabama and I'll lay the 20 and tell all you Notre Dame fans that you can pray hard all you want. It's just not going to happen.
No, they're not going to win that game.
No.
Well, I guess I'm going to go watch the Gators are getting pounded. So,
all right. Well, you have fun. Big thanks to everybody out there for watching. Craig and I will be back on Saturday night. Big thanks to Matt Sells for producing today's show. For Craig Mish, I'm Howard Bender. This has been the Wager Alarm live stream, and we'll catch you next time.